Fortress Hohensalzburg, one of Europe's biggest 11th-century fortress complexes, towers over the city of Salzburg, fondly known as the City of Mozart. This grandiose masterpiece is an extraordinary expression of the prince-bishop's longing for recognition, as well as an exhibition of the cultural authority and political power they wielded. The defenses were constructed to protect the prince-bishops from any and all attacks, though, in reality, the fortress never came under siege. The prince-bishops spent the majority of their time in the Residenz, a palace in the heart of Salzburg. The magnificent fortress was developed over three main historical periods in direct response to the advent of robust weaponry with increasing ranges as a means to further strengthen the castle. Under the regime of Archbishop Leonard von Keuchach around 1500, concentrated construction work finalized the castle as seen today, and it still houses the Salzburg Bull, a wheel-driven barrel organ that is over 500 years old. Windsor Castle has been used by England's ruling monarch since the reign of King Henry I, making it Europe's longest occupied castle. Even though there was a royal residence at Windsor during the Saxon period, around the 9th century, the building of the first castle began around 1070, following William the Conqueror's Norman invasion of England. The original castle was constructed of motte and bailey, but stone fortifications were gradually added. When Henry III assumed power, he built a lavish royal palace within the castle, which was later rebuilt by Edward III to make it even grander. The majority of the world's oldest castles have become tourist attractions, but Windsor Castle remains a royal residence. It is, in reality, Queen Elizabeth II's favorite weekend home. Since being built in the 11th century, 39 monarchs have used it as a residence, which is incredible. Even though the castle remains one of the Queen's preferred homes, parts of the castle are open to the public on certain days of the year. William the Conqueror built the first castle on the current site of Warwick Castle in 1068. Every succeeding Earl of Warwick gradually reconstructed the castle into a stone structure over the next century, and by the late 1300s, the original building had been expanded to include a dungeon and two towers. Unfortunately, Warwick Castle fell into disrepair during the 16th century and would not be restored for several decades. In 1978, the Greville family, who had owned the castle for over 300 years, sold it to the Tussauds Group, and the castle and its grounds were restored to their former glory. The castle's ownership would change hands again in the 21st century, and today is leased by Merlin Entertainments from Pressbury Group. Seasonal shows, musical performances, and even Dragon Slayer evenings make it an incredibly popular attraction. In fact, the medieval castle is in all probability one of England's most popular tourist attractions and provides tourists with a variety of lodging options that include Knights Village lodges, medieval glamping tents, and romantic tower suites inside the castle. Reichsburg-Kochheim, also known as Kochheim Castle, is one of the oldest surviving castles in the world. The Palatinate Count Etzo is presumed to have founded the castle around the year 1000. According to the earliest documentation we have of the castle, Richeza, the former Queen of Poland and Eza's oldest daughter, decided to give the castle to her nephew Palatine Count Henry I in 1051. After King Conrad III forcibly seized the castle in 1151, it was designated as an imperial castle. It was partly destroyed by French King Louis XIV's troops in 1688, but Louis Frederick Jacques Ravin rebuilt it in the Gothic Revival style in 1868. We have only one Middle Eastern castle on this list, and it just so happens to be the world's largest and oldest. The citadel of Aleppo was founded on a hill within Aleppo's ancient city, which was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1986. The significance and use of the hill can be traced back to 3000 BCE, but the majority of the current structure is believed to have been constructed during the Ayyubid dynasty in the 12th century. The majestic entrance bridge, high walls, and grand gateway of the city, all of which are mostly intact, provide a striking backdrop for the ancient city. Until the conflict broke out in 2011, the citadel attracted thousands of tourists each year. The Aga Khan Trust for Culture carried out large-scale field research and conservation endeavors on the citadel in the early 2000s. Their actions culminated in meticulous documentation of the site and incalculable conservation work. Some of the citadel's most important structures were strengthened and preserved, in the process allowing them to be dynamically reused and fully interpreted for the site's visitors. Regrettably, the citadel has been badly damaged in recent years as a result of the ongoing Syrian civil war, and while repairs have begun, concerns about the citadel's safety remain an ongoing concern.